thought it said Willie on it. As in Steamboat Willie. I think maybe just when on the site I bought it off, which is High Life, which is some little podcast from Hawaii. But I think they call it the Willie shirt. And it took me a while. I didn't put the Steamboat Willie together right away. But anything, they throw an ukulele in the hand, I'm like, I gotta get that. Little interlude here. Some popcorn. $5.99. That's paying for your entertainment, your fireworks, you know. Now you could have gotten the Sully Santa, that blue guy from Monsters Inc. bucket with popcorn in it for $27. I don't get the popcorn bucket. They do that a lot. Some of them aren't horrible, you know, but it takes up space. But I did a lot of that. I did the pins for a while. I went overboard on the pins for a while. And it's disappointing because now I have the pins, like 10 booklets of pins that are heavy. And furthermore, I have no interest in them at all. I come here and I don't even... Yeah, a lot of shit like that. The only thing that's cool that I collected my whole life is music. CDs and vinyl. Still enjoy that. Don't feel it's a waste. Although vinyl's awfully heavy, but baseball cards, I still enjoy the ones I collected. I don't like the modern baseball cards. I got 18 million different ones. Chip! Buddy! It's Chip. Chip has the black nose, just so you know. That was one of those facts I learned since I've been coming to Disney that you just don't forget. Not that it's overly memorable, but anytime I see Chip and Dale, I know the one with the black nose is Chip for chocolate chip. Just easy to remember, I guess. Well, maybe we'll do my little chat. I wanted to talk about my gig on Sunday at Charlotte's Web Pub. So now that we're in season for Florida, and all the people from north come down and all the businesses are busy and full out. They have DJs or musical acts on Saturday. So I can no longer play. Maybe if I get there early enough, like the previous Saturday, not this past weekend, this is Tuesday. The one before that I went up on Saturday, but I didn't get there till 3-ish. So I played a full set, and then I started my second set, and I got 20 minutes into it, and she's like, my DJ needs to go. And the worst part was, the DJ was a douchebag. He didn't talk to me. I had, like, the owner, Brittany, tell me that. And he was just hostile. As I was taking my shit down, which takes, like, 10 minutes at the most, I was just I made a few comments to him, like, you know, he was, you know, kind of thought they were humorous. And he just was just a douchebag. And then I heard him talk, and he was a douchebag.
Oh, they're walking away.
Like, not a cool guy at all. So then I went up Sunday after that and played 2 good sets. Then this past weekend, they had a band on Saturday that I was semi-interested in seeing, but I also just want to support them, like go up and have a couple beers. But I got there at like 5:45 after going to my storage container and not getting any. I've got my watering can for the grass at work that I planted, and but I didn't find. I've been looking for Eric Clapton, Layla, and other assorted love songs with CDs because I don't have them in my iPod for some reason. And which I didn't find. And the watering can ended up sucking. I went up there yesterday on Sunday, 2 days ago, to use it for the first time because I wasn't going to be there Monday and Tuesday, so I wanted to water my grass, and it sucked. It just didn't work. It didn't do the, the nice little spout sort of thing, which that was annoying. It has like a circle on the end with the little holes, but there's like a square, solid square. No matter how I turned that, it all just came out. It was just a big slop of mess, dropping on the ground and splashing around. So it just wasn't working. So I went back to the Ace one, which the Ace one works, but it seems slightly smaller than the one I had in my possession. And the sad part is I was probably using my watering can wrong, and I just didn't have the capacity at the time to figure it out. I had to be doing something wrong. I turned it in several directions. I just couldn't figure it out. So, but then I got over to Charlotte's Web Pub at 5:45, and the band was packing up. I thought she had said they were playing 3 to 8, but apparently I was wrong. But they didn't even play till 6. But then I asked a few people yesterday how was it good and stuff, and one of the regulars, Larry, who said some nice things about my playing, but then again, if I'm outside, he doesn't come out for more, at all. It's kind of, but he's like, oh yeah, it was pretty cool. This guy was changing outfits, doing prints and stuff. Sorry, folks, not my thing. That's fucking, people like it, so knock yourself out, but that's just fucking gay. And when I say gay, no offense to being gay, but I mean gay and just like, gay. I'm not into this whole thing where, oh, he has a great voice. I don't give a shit. Are the songs cool or not? It's all that matters. It doesn't matter if they can sing great or not. It's all about the songs, man. Is the music and the song good together? Is it a cool song? It's not about flashy guitar playing. I don't have any interest in listening to Joe Satriani or Eddie Van Halen if they're considered, all that twiddly shit. Never. I've listened to some of that Steve Vai or whatever playing with Zappa and stuff. It's a little more interesting when he's in that context, but it's not. That's why the Stones are so key. It's about their songs. Nobody's the best at anything. Mick ain't the best singer. Keith ain't the best guitar player. But they have the best songs. In a general sense. There's been, the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, all that. Dylan. But the Stones are a good example of just solid, awesome rock and roll songs. So anyway, so then Sunday, I go up, and again I was late. I get up there around 2:30ish. I wanted to get up there and be on the stage by 2, but no matter what I do, and I ate my lunch, I had whatever I ate. I think I had a chicken sandwich or something, right at noontime, and then I for some reason I'll do a couple extra things thinking I'm going to be too early, and then I'm too late. Anyway, I go out there, and they actually had a bartender outside, which is unusual. But it was this young girl, and just as humorless these fucking young kids suck. Like one of those people with like the blank look on their face no matter what. You know, and probably thinks she's like every guy and older guy is like drooling over her or something. And no, not at all. Just a personality less. So I walk up there and I'm like, hey, I was hoping to play some music. And usually they don't even make me ask, you know, they're like, whatever. But now that they have this bar set up outside, she like gives me this look like, you know, she didn't know me. She hasn't been around, but I've seen her a couple times there. But so she gets on the phone and calls Brittany, who doesn't answer. Brittany's the owner. And then Joey walks out, and that's girl. And she's older, and she was at the RV park I was first at, and she just took a liking to me. And a normal, she's got a husband and stuff, but she was bartending inside, and she came out, and the girl asked her, and Joey's like, of course, you know. So I set up, and I dug right in, man, and I opened up with Minstrel Boy by Bob Dylan. Ain't nobody knows that song. Who's gonna throw that minstrel boy a coin? And then I did, what did I do second? Because I had a little, but the third song was Lawyers, Guns, and Money, which was a debut. Went all right. The problem I have with that song, and I mean the problem when playing it, is when you know, I was gambling in Havana. And then it's a D-A-E, very easy. And you kind of reverse those around a little bit at points, but you know, it's like dun 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 dun. That's all D. Dun 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 dun. That's A-E. And when you get to the E, you kind of hold that E on the I was gambling in Havana. Dun 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 dun. That's, I got to figure that out. Like, it's a little awkward with the acoustic to kind of, I got to maybe find the rhythm there to do it. But in general, it's in the rep. I'm all into Zevon right now for some reason. And but I'd say overall it may be the best set I ever played. I felt great. I don't think I screwed up any words really. If it was just one or two here and there, every song I thought was pretty damn solid. So I take a little break. And of course, because of my late start, now it's already like 4:45. It gets dark at like 5:45. So I'm playing, and it was going well. I mean, I thought I did a pretty decent throwing stones, you know, still getting that riff down. But I went right into Satisfaction, and that went generally all right. I gotta smooth that out a little bit. I like doing that, Satisfaction or something else. The Not Fade Away just doesn't work for me. I think it's a solo tune. Or playing it the way the Dead did anyways. And then this guy shows up. So I go into Jeepster by T-Rex, which the previous week I did it, and it may be the worst performance I ever did. It'll be up. I'll be putting that up. I put it all up, man. I don't care. You gotta take it. You can make whatever bad comment you want to make, because I'm well aware of whether it's good or bad. And I mean, it was horrible. But anyway, so I did it Sunday, and it was better. But I'm in the middle of it, and this guy walks up, and he says to me, I don't want to distract from what you're doing or something. Dude, I'm playing a fucking song right now, and you're saying you don't want to distract me while you're talking to me while I'm playing the song. I'm just like, what planet am I on? You know? I don't want to distract you from what you're doing, but I'm going to distract you from what you're doing. And he's like, why don't you play the fiddle? And I'm like, you know, I had an ukulele there, so maybe he thought that was a fiddle, the case. And I'm like, oh yeah, I can do that, you know, and I'm still playing Jeepster. And then, so then I'm like, because I hadn't played the ook in a while up on stage, you know? So I'm like, I can do that. And So I started playing the ook, and that went fairly decently. You know, I'm a little rusty, but I played Harder They Come, and I screwed up the lyrics, but I thought the energy was pretty solid throughout, which had been an issue with that for me. I had felt that. You know, and I did a couple Disney tunes. I did Bare Necessities, and what did I do the first tune? I'm not Bare Necessities, Want to Be Like You. I don't know, I thought I did a Disney. Oh, I did Whale of a Tale from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I like that one. I hadn't done it in a while. It was a little rusty at first. I did My Harder They Come medley, which is, you can get it if you really want, Harder They Come. And then I did Carmen, Don't Dance Like That Anymore. I wanted to do Blue Hawaiian Moonlight, but I just could not remember the words. And then the guy out in the audience, this other guy's with him. He's like, you know any Ricky Skaggs? I'm like, no, unfortunately I don't. You know, Ricky Skaggs kicks ass. And the guy's like, just pick. I'm like, I don't really do that, dude. I play songs. You know, I'm not good enough to just pick. Oh, just pick, man. We don't care. And then he's like, oh, just play what you... But he's like yelling this shit at me, dude. You can't even play. And you're like, can't you just accept what I'm doing? I mean, if you don't like it, you don't like it. But I do what I do. And so doesn't the people who maybe are your favorites. They do what they do. I just thought it was pretty rude. In the way he was doing it. Thought it was pretty rude. And then the other guy's like, oh, my cousin makes instruments for some big... I forget exactly what he said, but it's like, who gives a fuck? Everybody has to know somebody. You know? Even if they've never even talked to their cousin or once a year, it's like, oh, my cousin makes an instrument for a famous person or something. That makes me more important. I'm so sick of that shit. Everybody has to know somebody that makes them just above you. And that's what it is all about. You know? Everybody needs to think that they're above the regular people. You're a regular person. I'm special. That's why I get a kick out of it. And I am aware of this. I do not think this is hypocrisy. If I get to a certain point in a conversation, I'll be like, my brother works for the New York Giants, or he's the vice president for the and I do it because of the reaction. And almost, I'd say 95% of the time, if not 100 at this point, everybody, you get, oh, like they're interested, like they think that must be the coolest job in the... Fuck that. He works for all these spoiled, overpaid fucking athletes kissing their ass and shit, and then he works for these douchebags, the Maras, who are just fucking elitist douchebags who inherited all their jobs from their dad winning the Giants in a poker game, or their grandfather. I don't even know if it was their dad. And no, I don't give a shit. They're nice people. And they're nice to my brother. But there's nothing special about them, and they're not like to be revered or anything. You know, that's where I'm getting with that. And so, but I just love, and I don't do it to make me more important or anything. I get a kick. I'm waiting for somebody to just be like, who? Like when you mentioned the Giants or something. And I haven't met that person yet. Everybody thinks it. It's like when I talk to people from high school I very rarely talk to, or it's been years. Your brother still work for the Giants? Yeah, I believe he just picked up fucking, I couldn't name a player, and he got poop on his hands from his jock, which he doesn't do. What the fuck do they think is great about that? You think he hangs out with the players or something? Even if he did, what would be special about that? You think like hanging out just because they play for a sports team, it makes them cooler or funner? I just don't get it. I don't get it. You know? I just don't get it. It's like if I met Bob Dylan, I wouldn't be like, who'd you write Queen Jane approximately about? Who are you thinking? I don't give a fuck. I'd be like, Bob, can you show me how you play Queen Jane approximately? Or you want to play some tunes together? That's what I would say. I'd be like, do you smoke pot? You know? I wouldn't be like, was that, he's just a guy. All right. Look at that. Zoinks. As I stuff my face with popcorn, I'm aware of the juxtaposition, is that it? But I can still move myself around and do shit, you know? I'm not lazy. I still eat kind of shittily. Had an apple today. But I do got to cut down the soda. I battle the soda thing constantly. Sometimes I try and stop, or I try and just manage it. And other times I'm just like, I want soda, I'm going to drink it. I'm going to drink another sip. And I just... So I don't feel I'm being too much of a hypocrite. But some of this shit you see, dude, with the people, the fat and shit, it's bad. It's like you at some point, well before where you're at, should have been like, I need to do something. And you should be shamed. Fuck, my brothers do it to me. And I could still probably kick all their asses. Seriously. You know? But they'll make comments about my weight and shit. They're kind of faggy little guys. Yep, I say that to piss them off. So, and then the other thing with the gig Sunday, that bartender I spoke of. So when I started, she's like, they had a little speaker set up outside. She's like, Steve, let me know when you're gonna start. I'll turn this off. I'm like, all right. But then my second set, I'm sitting there playing, and there was nobody out there until those people came, the guy telling me to pick, you know, but for the most part, there was nobody even out there. But she's listening to something on her phone. I don't know if she's listening or watching something. Now, when I was in a song, it didn't distract me, but when I stopped, I could hear it, and she was a good 50 feet away, and I'm just like, what a sour-ass bitch. That's exactly what I felt. It's funny because I kind of wanted to address it. And all I had to address it was Positively 4th Street, which I hadn't played in a few weeks. And it was a solid one. And in fact, when I was playing Positively 4th Street, you know, you've got a lot of nerve to say you are my friend. And I thought it went well. But that's when the guy first came out that started like being like, oh, play the fiddle. So I like little things like that end up being like, oh yeah, see, there's little universal karmic things that kind of jibe together like that. So I'll be putting those up. I've got quite a few sets, like 3 or 4 or 5 sets to put up before that. So they'll be coming out in the next couple weeks. So let me know. I'll put it in the notes. I will say that I feel this is probably one of the best sets I played. Like I did that song Nothing But Flowers by Talking Heads, and it was the solidest version of that I did. Like the first time I did it without fucking up any of the lyrics, basically. But I forgot to do Uncle Albert Admiral Halsey, which I wanted to do. But I did Hey Hey What Can I Do? I've started doing that one. And when I might have been the first set, but there was a group of people there that they liked that one. They clapped. They gave me $8, so that was nice. And that's it. If you're gonna sit there and watch me, and especially yell shit at me, and somewhat good-naturedly, you know, the guy wasn't that horrible. Like the guy who was telling me to pick, he did say thanks a lot when he left. You know, he yelled it at me, but didn't give me $5 for Christ's sakes. But it's funny because Hey Hey What Can I Do? You know, we all know that tune. But I'm playing it, and I don't know how the chorus, like, I don't know if you know, the first when you, hey, dun, dun. Does he say, hey, what can I do before he sings, I got a woman, she won't be true now? Or is it just dun, 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 dun? He said, I got a little woman. I couldn't remember if he says, hey, what can I do? I think he does on the last verse. That's where I have it written in my note lyrics. But it's funny because I know the song for so many years, and I spent so much time listening to Zeppelin in high school, which is now 35, 40 years ago. But I don't listen to them a ton anymore, but I still do. But I'll listen to like Coda, like the CD reissue of Coda where they got all the bonus tracks and hey, what can I do? I'll listen to that more than I would any album. Like I haven't listened to Led Zeppelin 4 in probably 35 years. And that's the one with Stairway to Heaven. And it is a great album. I just don't, when I look at my Zeppelin, I'm gonna listen to something live or something else, you know? I mean, Zeppelin 1 is probably the best album when you really get down to it. It really is. Your time is gonna come. How many more times? Babe, I'm gonna leave you. Led Zeppelin 3 is solid, you know. Since I've Been Loving You is a killer tune. That's the Way. Tangerine. House of the Holy. I'll listen to House of the Holy. And basically, if I listen to House of the Holy, I start after Kashmir. I don't really need to listen to Kashmir. Is that Rock and Roll's not on that? That's on Led Zeppelin 4. But Trampled Underfoot. That's an alright tune. But I really like the song Houses of the Holy, which is on Physical Graffiti. Is that what I meant? Yeah, but going back to Houses of the Holy, that was like one of the first ones I really dug into. I remember Danny Gomes had that when we sleep out in his little fort in his backyard. I remember listening to Dancing Days. So there's a level of nostalgia with that one. You know, in Jamaica was probably the first song I got tired of hearing by Led Zeppelin, but now I like it. You kind of learn a little about what it was about and stuff. You know, that's how like an English person would say Jamaica. Dancing Days. Dun, dun, dun. Dancing Days are here again. What did I do? I also debuted Rocky Raccoon. It just hit me, you know, Rocky Raccoon's always been there. And for some reason, I just thought about starting to play that one. So I did. So I wrote the words down Sunday morning and played it that afternoon. Pretty straightforward. It's fun doing the do 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 do. I think it goes like that. See, that's the thing. I don't know if I completed that thought, but like with Hey, what can I do? I know these songs, but I kind of, when you start doing them, there's details that come up that you kind of are like, wow, I'm not sure about that, you know? Like, does he say, hey, what can I do for every chorus, you know? And I don't think he does. And I'm like, I should probably listen to these because I don't actually listen to them. I know them, but I don't listen to them. And, you know, when you're starting to do them, there's details. But at the same time, you don't really want to get too bogged down in straight up copying, you know? That's what makes, like, the Stones and Radiators so great when they cover a tune, and the Dead. It's not it's definitely, you know what song they're playing, you know, when they're covering a tune, but there's just their personality in it too. So that's what you're kind of going for, you know. That's why those more intricate songs, it's harder to do that. You kind of want more of a jammy tune, you know. You can make it your own easier, you know, like doing Uncle Admiral Halsey. You're kind of locked into the way that song goes. There's not much room to kind of move it around, you know, or anything, you know. You kind of got a structure to that. Or like, say, for you pure classic rockers, like if you were gonna do Bohemian Rhapsody, there's not much you can do with that except do it the way it is, you know. You're not gonna be able to change that and people would appreciate it or like it. They want to hear Bohemian Rhapsody. But if you do like something like The Last Time by the Stones. When you're singing the verses, it's pretty straightforward, but, you can throw extra solos in there or, and kind of do things that it's not as important as having it sound just like the album. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure that was the best example, but pretty good. So, but yeah, I was pretty happy. That's why I've had like this weird feeling since Sunday, because I felt like that first set was really good. I was very happy with it. And the second set was good too, even the ukulele stuff. It was a little messy with the ukulele, and it might have been out of tune. I tuned it, and then I went, after like 4 songs, I tuned it again, and it was way out of tune, so I don't know. My tuner's a little inconsistent, maybe. Because I didn't know what to do because it was getting too dark to read my lyrics, and also I didn't have all my ukulele tunes handy in my binders that I have the words in, so... And I do know a little more of the words to most of my ukulele songs, but I couldn't think of too many in the moment. So I started just jamming on jamming, which I've never really looked at the words. See, that's another one. You think you know that one? Try and just do it without singing along with the album or from memory. And I'm like, I have no idea. But the one fun part is you're just doing the dun, dun, the main rhythm and just doing the ooh yeah. But I could tell my ukulele was way out of tune for that one. That kind of made it more clear, so I retuned it, and then it sounded better. Then I was gonna try and singing it, and right away I'm like, I do not know how this goes. Ain't no rules, ain't no right. You could bib it right there. I'm dead. I'm gone. Don't know it. But I still had the good. I actually played, like, for some reason it's only 4 chords: B minor, E minor, G, F sharp minor. I have a real hard time putting those 4 in order for that. And I kind of did it. I got a nice little rhythm going for the, I played it for like a minute or two. And then it was more or less getting dark, so I just wrapped it up at that point. And then I got all salty as I just started thinking about that girl playing her phone loud and that guy heckling me for... And it was good-natured, like I said. He wasn't being a dick, but he was kind of being a dick. Like he was... It kind of made me think of a lyric I want to put in, like, I got some guy yelling at me, just pick. And all I can think is, what a dick. But when I left, he yelled out. He's like, thanks, buddy. So... yeah, thanks for nothing. All right, man. Well, that's it. People movers temporarily down. They got, there's nobody in line, too. That's the line for the people mover right there. That's the thing where you just sit in the thing and it drives around. But it's nice and relaxing. But they got a Christmas party tonight, so everybody, regular people who didn't pay the extra $130 have to leave by before 7. More or less at 6. But I just want to hang because I like being in. I just got off Space Mountain, and then it's nice when the lights start coming on. But it's still, it's probably only 3 o'clock. Went to the Beacon Barrel, their new restaurant. Pretty good. I chowed down. They got some weird food offerings in there. And I was out of there $99. Hey, I got a cup, a mug that I'm going to give to my buddy. But, yeah. My second time there, and the last time it was, with the tip and shit, it was $99 too. But I'll tell you, I had one drink. I only had one alcoholic beverage. And I was fucking buzzed. I was buzzed for like an hour after that, so... I don't know if he put extra in for me or whatever, but I legitimately had a buzz.
The more you know.
But nice mellow day. Had to walk in. So that's it. Maybe we'll go over to the Carousel of Progress. I think they added Walt Disney to the beginning. I don't know if they've done that yet. Where he just talks. I don't know. We'll see. I'll let you know. All right, folks. Check out the freaking Howley. This little talk will be on the Pooh without an H. All right, over and out.